Apologize. Welcome in, everybody, to the High Noon stream for today, Monday afternoon, the start of a new week. Hope springs eternal. Optimism. That's the word of the day around here. We do this every Monday through Friday, noon. What I do is I come on here and we run through pretty much everything that's trending. If it's trending, if it's a headline, if it's a current event, if it's a hot topic, if it's something people are talking about, we try to get into it right here in the next hour or so. It's conversational. Join the chat room. Come one, come all. Everybody, don't forget, hit like, hit subscribe, do all that kind of stuff that you're supposed to do. I don't say that stuff enough. I'm not good. I'm not real good at the YouTube streaming. So, it's a work in progress. You come by, you hang out, we talk a little bit. Maybe you're puttering around the house. Maybe I'm on in the background. I don't know. I don't know what my role is in your life. I'm just happy to be a part of it. Okay, we do this every Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, noon. Then we come back. We do a second stream Monday through Thursday nights. We call that Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. That is 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. That show, not to be confused with this show, which is High Noon. High Noon is topic driven. It's whatever is trending. It's whatever's happening right now. I look at the internet and I just start going through stuff and we just start talking about it as it comes up. The Pillow Talk show at 9, that's more conversational. Chit chat, me and Parker, we get into like weird sort of deeper conversations. By the way, how am I doing here? I realized I didn't wash my face this morning. I didn't do anything this morning except morning things. April's here, Frank's here, Melissa's here, Al's here, Jeff's here, Leslie's here. Everybody's filling into the chat room. Come on. Note for tomorrow. Tomorrow's show might be a little bit late. Might be 12:30, might be 1 o'clock. I don't know, something like that, but it's going to be a little bit late. Al Gamboa in the chat room, he says, Pugs, how you feeling? Last week was a bad allergy week. Started to feel better on Saturday. Feeling, I'm not going to say 100%. I'm going to say I could play. If there was a game today, I could play. All right. How's that? I was day to day last week. Had there been a game on like, hold on. You hear that? Hey, what are you doing? What are you getting into? Come here. So the dog knows she's in trouble. What are you doing? See, here's the thing. I'm feeling better. Thank you, Al. I appreciate you asking. There's some pool maintenance going on, so the dog has to be in with me today. And she knows there's pool maintenance going on, so she's not going to be a good dog today. She's going to be doing all kinds of things trying to get my attention to let her out in the yard so that she can get down there and she can attack that nice pool man. Go lay down. Go lay down. Seriously, go lay down. This is going to be one of these. Hi, Dustin. Dustin's here now. Hold on. I'm filling time because I had to re-sign into my my thing here. And it's taking its time. Frank stating the obvious. Frank loves dogs, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Frank. Frank loves dogs. Yeah, here she is. Want to say hi, girl? CeeLo. You want to go lay down? Why don't you go lay down? Why don't you go lay down instead of bothering me, huh? Okay. She needs to go lay down. Go. Seriously, get out of here. All right, I'm just going to start the show. Again, sometimes she sits here and she's confused because I'm just talking, right? I'm just like, she observes humans a lot. Rare is it that she sees one just sitting by themselves in a room making all kinds of noise. She doesn't know about streaming. She doesn't know that there are people that I'm actually talking to. She's just looking at me like, this isn't normal. I've been around other people. They don't do this. You're the only one who does this. So that's kind of the look I'm getting now. All right, let's get into today's show. I'm sorry about the delays. Yeah, she is beautiful, Melissa. She really is beautiful. She is a beautiful animal. She is so ugly that she is beautiful. It's the only way that we can describe it. She has two eyes that are different colors. which is striking. I mean, that's not part of why she's ugly. That's actually part of why she's so striking. And then she's got like sort of a patchwork, like a cow. Like her print is kind of like a cow. Some's black, some's white. She's in good shape though. She's got a body. I mean, my kids are like, she's got a hot body for a dog. I'm like, yeah, she does. She's all buff and she's all like muscle and she's good. She's a good dog. All right, let's get into it. It is high noon for the 29th day of August. It's that part of the month. Tip the show if you can, folks, because 29th day of August, that's when the stress starts. Anything you can drop into our tip jar is greatly appreciated this week. Going to push hard this week. Got to push hard this week. Don't really have much of a choice. Been laying low over the summer. Got to get back into the raising. So if you can tip us anything, help us out. We'd appreciate that. 29th day of August, the 241st day of the year. There are 124 days remaining until the end of the year. Let's get into some of the history of today. We like to talk about what makes today so cool. 1831, Michael Faraday discovers electromagnetic induction. You know, the Faraday cage? You ever seen that? You ever seen one of those? Yeah. Museums. I don't know. I think that's the only place I've ever seen a Faraday cage. 1885, Gottlieb Daimler patents the world's first internal combustion motorcycle. You know, we hear that's a good one. We hear a lot about the car, right? Like it's like if you're an American, then you're like Henry Ford invented the car. But if you live anywhere else in the world, it's like the Daimler and Benz they got together and invented. It doesn't matter. Just matters where you are. If you're in America, it's Henry Ford. If you're everywhere else in the world, it's another guy. But that's just the way we Americans see things. If we didn't know it existed before we invented it, we're just going to go ahead and take credit for it. Anyway, it's a great debate among people, who really should get credit for the first car. Most of us Americans, we give Henry Ford credit. But on this day, Gottlieb Daimler, that's right, Benz's partner. Benz is doing the car stuff. Daimler, very first internal combustion motorcycle. I never heard about who invented the motorcycle. I never heard about that. Nobody ever. Harley Davidson invented the motor. Did he? I don't know. Is Harley Davidson a guy or is that just two dudes' last names? I don't know. I'm not sure. But apparently it was Gottlieb Daimler. On this day in 1885, motorcycle. On this day in 1898, the Goodyear Tire Company is founded. Great American company. The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. On this day in 1949, the Soviet atomic bomb project, the Soviet Union tests successfully its first atomic bomb, known as First Lightning or Joe 1. We had Fat Man and Little Boy. They had First Lightning. Or Joe 1. I guess Joe 1 for Joe Stalin for Joseph Stalin. That would make sense to me. All right, moving on. In 1966, on this day, the Beatles performed their last concert ever. Where did they play? Class. That's correct. Candlestick Park in San Francisco, 1966. On this day, the very last time the Beatles will ever play in front of a live concert crowd. Well, paying audience. I guess that's the way they parse it, because they played for the Queen and like stuff like that. But the last time the Beatles would ever play as a group for a paying audience, this day in 1966, Candlestick Park, San Francisco. On this day in 1997, Netflix is launched as an internet DVD rental service. Netflix started on this day in 1997. I didn't think Netflix went back that far. I would have said Netflix. When did Netflix start? I'd have gone like 2004 or something like that. Until recently. Actually, boy, as I get older, and I say recently, it turns out that recently isn't all that recently. Like within the last 10 years, I had a friend who was like still getting Netflix delivered to his house. Like it was at a time like that was normal. Like there was a time for like 2-3 years when that was kind of normal, where you'd walk into somebody's house and on their kitchen table, they would have a bunch of Netflix things that came in the mail, right? They would get their movies delivered to them from Netflix in the mail. I had a friend like recently. It was like recently. I'm like, dude, apparently they cut it off. They stopped it like within the last few years, but he was like one of the last guys. He was still ordering Netflix. I don't know what you're going to do. Anyway, on this day, 1997, Netflix is launched. And now that Reed Timmer guy is like the most powerful man in Hollywood. The guy who runs Netflix there. He's like the most powerful. Netflix started on this day as a way to rent through the mail DVDs, right? That's how it started. Today, it's like the biggest production house in Hollywood. First of all, if you're a comedian, you need to have a Netflix deal. Don't forget about getting that HBO deal. That ain't a thing anymore, the HBO comedy special. Now it's the Netflix thing. And with movies, oh my God, you can't count on audiences going out to movie theaters in this day and age. Straight to Netflix. That's the way big budget films are being made now. And Reed Timmer, he's like in charge of all that. Big, powerful dude in entertainment. 2005, it was on this day in 2005, Hurricane Katrina made landfall on the U.S. Gulf Coast from Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle. Killed 2,000 people, killed 1,800 people, 1836, causing $125 billion in damage. 2005, 15, 16, 17 years ago now. Wow. So if you were like a baby, you remember we got all the Katrina families? I remember that. I remember all the Katrina families that came up to Dallas after that. So if you were a baby that was brought here, and Katrina, you're 17, you're almost 18 years old now. You grew up here. You don't remember. Oh God. I'll tell you what I remember about Katrina. I remember, it was over a weekend, wasn't it? Wasn't it on a Sunday night? Because I vividly remember being at a bar, a pub that I hung out at. And it was like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night. And I was like, okay, I've been watching football all day. I'm going to have something to eat. I'm going to sit at the bar. I'm going to have something to eat. I'm going to talk to my friend, the bartender. And I'm watching football. And it was like the Sunday night football game that was on. But then in the corner of the screen, they had like one of these little radar things. And then all the other TVs in the bar were showing like just New Orleans and, you know, what was going on, live camera footage of Katrina making landfall. And I remember sitting there eating my dinner going, this seems like this might turn into a thing. Yeah, there it was. All right. 17 years ago today, it did. It turned into a thing. That was, I remember sitting there watching it going, this does not look good. Let's do some births. Okay, let's celebrate some birthdays today. Born on this day in 1950, film icon, one of the most glamorous and beautiful actresses to ever grace the silver screen, Ingrid Bergman. Hey, you know who she is? No, I don't know who she is either. I just know she's famous. I just know she's a big name, and I've looked at a picture of her, and I go, oh yeah, she's beautiful. I can see why people say she's beautiful. Ingrid Bergman, born on this day in 1915. Put a pin in that one, and we'll move on. Let's see here. Born on this day in 1917. This is a crazy shocker. Isabel Sanford. Isabel Sanford was born on this day in 1917. Who's Isabel Sanford? Wheezy Jefferson. That's who she is. Isabel Sanford is Wheezy Jefferson. She was born from the Jeffersons. She was born in 1917. Okay. She died in 2004. Now, why am I slowing down when I say it? Because I never realized it before. I looked at this birthday, Isabel Sanford, 1917, and I said to myself, oh my God, she's older than both my grandparents. She is older than both my grandparents. Wheezy Jefferson, when I was watching Wheezy Jefferson, she was older than both of my grandparents, who I was probably watching the Jeffersons with. Okay, so here's the whole thing. Here's where my little, how old is Isabel Sanford? Led me. Dude, she was born in 1917. Sherman Hemsley, who plays George Jefferson, was born in 1938. There was a 21-year age difference between Wheezy and George Jefferson on the Jefferson. Did anyone ever notice that? Did anyone ever notice that in 1975, when the Jeffersons first aired, Sherman Hemsley was 38 years old? 38. Wheezy was almost 60. Wheezy was old enough to be George Jefferson's mom. Seriously, 21-year age difference. That is crazy. I never realized that until this morning. Let's see here. Born on this day, Charlie Parker, Bird, American saxophonist and composer, music legend. Born on this day in 1922, Richard Blackwell. Remember this guy? this guy had a con going, huh? Mr. Blackwell. Every year, Mr. Blackwell's coming out with his list of the best and worst dressed. It was a thing. It was like a big deal. Like every year, this guy had one day a year that was his for like 30 years. Apparently, he was doing it since the 1950s. Anyway, and now he's been replaced by catty Instagram influencers, right? Well, I guess originally he was replaced by Joan Rivers, right? Didn't Joan Rivers kind of hone in on his act with the red carpet criticism of the way people are dressed and all that stuff? Anyway, there you go. Born on this day in 1936. Another one I didn't realize, we just talked about his death last week. John McCain, American captain, politician, prisoner of war, hero, icon, Arizona senator, multi-time presidential candidate, John McCain, born on this day in 1936. Born on this day in 1938, Elliot Gould, American actor and producer. Elliot Gould draft. No, couldn't even do it. I liked MASH. MASH was good. And then he did Elliot Gould was in everything in the 70s. When I was a little kid, Elliot Gould was in everything. Happy birthday, Elliot Gould. 1941, born on this day. Another guy like Mr. Blackwell, who just found something, fell into it, and just milked it for all it was worth. Born on this day in 1941, Robin Leach. Remember Robin Leach? Lifestyle, champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Remember that guy? That guy made an industry out of just showing us all what a bunch of losers we were. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. It was a show that this guy... He was like a British tabloid gossip columnist who became like a society guy in London or something. Like he started commenting on society. And I don't know, whatever it was. But he went, hey, what if I just did a half hour where I go and spend weekends with billionaires? TV show. Robin Leach. Born on this day in 1958. Here's the big one. This is the big birthday of the day. Happy birthday, Michael Jackson, American singer, songwriter, producer, dancer, and actor. How old would Michael Jackson be today? 40, 50, 60, 62, 64. Michael Jackson would be 64 years old today. Michael Jackson. How do you even do a Michael Jackson draft? Michael Jackson. Born on this day in 1959. A woman, I confused this woman with another woman who I confuse her with all the time. And I celebrated this woman that we're going to talk about right now last week when it was the other woman's birthday. And that's not right. So last week I talked about Rebecca De Mornay, right? No, last week I talked about, who's the one that I talked about? Rosanna Arquette. That's right. I talked about Rosanna Arquette. I talked about how she was great in Risky Business. Nah, she wasn't in Risky Business. I was wrong about that. So let's all forget about Rosanna Arquette and let's move on to the birthday girl. Happy birthday from Risky Business, Rebecca De Mornay. That's right. She played the prostitute in Risky Business and then did absolutely nothing else. Name something else you saw Rebecca De Mornay in. Boy, what happens? How does this happen? How do you go from being really hot and like in the biggest movie and then just womp, 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 womp? I mean, I'm sure after Risky Business, she got a couple of movie roles, but she didn't really turn into like the movie star that I thought maybe Rebecca De Mornay was going to be. She never did. Born on this day in 1971. I like to point out when we have birthdays of, that guy, actor. I know that guy, actor. You don't know his name, but he's in everything. And you're like, I love that guy, actor. So we have that guy actors, and we have we also have that chick. I like that chick. That chick actors, right? So this is one of the that chick actors celebrating a birthday today, born in 1971. You may not know her. She's not necessarily an A-lister, but she's been doing everything for like 30 years, and she's great every single time. And I gotta say, I got a bit of a crush on her. Carla Gugino, ladies and gentlemen, the great Carla Gugino is celebrating a birthday today, born on this day in 1971. That chick actress, Carla Gugino, love her. She's so good in everything. She's just good in everything. She pops up in everything, and it's like, oh, this is going to be a cool character because she's a cool character actress. Let's see here. Let's go to some deaths. All right, some deaths. Dead on this day in 1982. I asked you to put a pin in it. Ingrid Bergman. All right, one of these weird, she's got the Harry Houdini thing going on here. Died on their birthday. It's your birthday. You're dead. That seems like Although, I mean, is that like a goal? Like if you're really struggling, make it to my birthday. What, right? So what? So your present can be your dad? I don't. It happens. It happens. Harry Houdini famously died on his birthday. His birthday was Halloween, so that makes it even creepier. But here you go. Ingrid Bergman died on her birthday. Died on this day in 1987. Lee Marvin, American actor. Lee Marvin. One of the forgotten cool guys, right? I mean, I guess back in the 1950s and 60s, we didn't really have action film stars, right? I mean, what was an action scene? Steve McQueen on a motorcycle in The Great Escape, right? I mean, that's the height of action, right? I mean, we didn't really start to get action until we got the gritty 1970s police movies where you started seeing car chases, and then it escalated from there into what we now know as like the action genre. But Lee Marvin would have been an action guy. Lee Marvin would have been, he was a badass. Lee Marvin was cool. Lee Marvin was, I used to get Lee Marvin and James Coburn confused, and then I started watching movies, and now I don't get them confused anymore. Lee Marvin was a guy. Lee Marvin was cool. Lee Marvin was in there with, I put Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, Lee Marvin, Robert Mitchum, guys like that, like cool guys. Lee Marvin died on this day in 1987. Dead on this day in 2007. Oh, some of the we just took a great big dump on and then threw on the scrap heap of life, huh? We destroyed this guy. Oh, and we had fun doing it. We made fun of him. Oh, he was so funny looking. Remember, he was fat. And we all made fun of how fat he was. And I remember he had a mustache. Oh, he had a silly mustache. Oh, we destroyed Richard Jewell's life. And on this day, he died. That's right. Richard Jewell died very young. Very young. Richard Jewell. Remember the Olympic Park bombing during the Olympics in Atlanta? The news media they didn't want to run this story out, so they needed a bad guy. So they immediately just focused in on the security guard. And why not? Because he was fat and he was funny looking, and you could put his picture up, and we could all make fun of him, and we talk about what a loser he is, and we could convict him long before there was any evidence to suggest that he had anything even remotely to do with it. But that's okay, because look at him. He's funny looking. Dude died at like 30 something. Killed him. We killed him. We destroyed Richard Jewell. We did. The feeding frenzy, the unkindness, the just being blood. We wanted blood, and we decided, hey, look at this funny looking guy. Let's freaking destroy his life. Sorry about that. Sorry, Richard Jewell, because I have to imagine that I probably made some fun of Richard Jewell back in the day. We were wrong. We're just a bunch of pack animals. Dead on this day in 2016, the world lost a true great, Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder, American stage and screen, comic actor, screenwriter, film director, author. He did it all. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, that's the dog in the other yard barking at our pool guy. And now my dog is starting to stir. So hold on. Let me just do something real quick. No, you're not going out. All right. Sorry about that. Oh, excuse me. Have you guys noticed? I just had to fix the temperature in here. Have you guys noticed it's getting hot again? The hell? It's like we had like a couple of days where it was like, not an inferno. And then yesterday it was like 100 degrees again. Okay, it's currently 91. No need for heat wave poker, because I don't think that we got a heat wave going here, but it is hot. I had to put on the air conditioning. Richard Jewell. Gene, excuse me. Air conditioning. Just had to turn the air conditioning on, so now I'm going to be having some sneeze attacks. When I kick the air conditioning on, for the first like 10 minutes, I sneeze. I'm a mess. And you wonder why I'm divorced twice. I'm a mess. Go lay down. Go lay down, beautiful. You gotta lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Oh, God, she's staring right out the window. She's watching the pool guy. She knows he's down there in her yard. Gene Wilder died on this day in 2016. Excuse me. I love Gene Wilder. Who doesn't love Gene Wilder, right? Could we do a Gene Wilder draft? Yeah, you know what? I didn't put one together, but let's do a quick let's look at what Gene Wilder has done in his career. I mean, I think Silver Streak is my number one. Excuse me. Domino sneezing. All right, let's look at this. Filmography. Let's see. Let's just go with films because I don't know he's necessarily the producers, I suppose, could be in a draft. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to go with Silver Streak as my first pick in the Gene Wilder draft. And that's controversial as I look here because Willy Wonka could have very easily been the first pick, but Willy Wonka is going to be the second pick in the Gene Wilder's draft. Young Frankenstein will be the third pick in the Gene Wilder draft. Stir Crazy will be the fourth pick in the Gene Wilder draft. And all right, with the fifth pick, I'm going to go with See No Evil, Hear No Evil, which I think is one of his greatly underrated collaborations with Richard Pryor. There you go. There's your Gene Wilder draft. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff too that I would. Yeah, did you notice? I didn't put Blazing Saddles or the producers on there. No, I didn't. Don't like either one of them. Did I put Young Frankenstein in there? I kind of like Young Frankenstein. That one's kind of good. What else did I do? Stir Crazy. The Woman in Red? Nah. I don't know. Okay, there you go. Gene Wilder. What a great. God, he was awesome. Gene Wilder died on this day in what year? 2016. Did he have cancer? Probably. I didn't realize that he was another one that was much older than I thought. 70, 80. I don't know how old he was. Died on this day last year. This is a sad one. This is a guy for anyone like myself who's been doing radio for the last couple of decades. This is a guy who was always willing to come on the radio. I probably talked to him half a dozen times over the years. Ed Asner. Ed Asner from the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Lou Grant. Oh, Ed Asner was so great. Here's why Ed Asner was an awesome radio guest. Because one, Ed Asner was a very smart guy. Very smart. Like he could talk about anything. It didn't matter. He could talk baseball. He could talk, nuclear proliferation. He could talk pretty much anything. And he had no governor. And he was an old man who did not give an F. Ed Asner would not have, well, he didn't. He died in 2021. But, if Ed Asner had been, he basically, if we had cancel culture back in the 80s and 90s, Ed Asner would have been canceled because Ed Asner said stuff. He had opinions, and a lot of times they pushed people the wrong way. But he was a pretty cool guy. Ed Asner, dead on this day in 2021, just 1 year ago. Okay, the dog is really starting to go lay down right this very minute. Go lay down. Go lay down. I don't know if you can see her. She's just staring at the door, or she's just sitting there. Look at her. No, you're not going out. CeeLo, go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down right now. Look, she knows I'm talking to her. All right, she doesn't want to go out. All right. I mean, she wants to go out, but she can't go out because there's someone she's going to eat out there in the yard. Please go lay down. Let me finish this. I'll take you for a walk. We'll go for a nice walk if he's still here when I'm done, okay? Yeah, there she goes. All right, deal. I seem to have struck a deal with her. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Can you see it's just in the last 10 minutes because I had to put the air conditioning on. Now I'm all... See, here's what's happening. The dog is making it very difficult for me to continue doing this, so we're just going to move on. All right, let's do the trends. Sorry, folks. Here's everything that's trending today. And now she's laying down. Okay, I think we got at least a good 10 minutes where she's going to lay down. She's going to lick herself. I'm not even going to interrupt her for licking herself. Usually I interrupt her. I say, no, puss, and I yell. And she stops. But I'm going to let her do it here because I'm trying to keep her occupied. Artemis 1 is trending. Artemis 1 is the new NASA rocket that is the biggest rocket. Oh, it's a badass rocket. They've been talking about the Artemis 1 rocket for a long time. It's going to bring people to the moon. That's right. We're going to set up a moon base up there. We're going to go to Mars. We're going to use the moon as kind of a filling station, and the Artemis rocket is going to get it all done, except the Artemis rocket doesn't launch. Whoa, that's right, folks. NASA's first attempt to begin The Artemis mission has been scrubbed after an unexpected issue with engine number 3. Just if you're watching CNN or Fox News, you got that on. You've probably been seeing a little static shot of just a sad little lonely rocket just sitting there on a launch pad, not going anywhere. They say maybe September. Maybe they'll try it again in September. They don't know. They need to figure out what's wrong with this engine 3 because it ain't good. Beto is trending here in Texas. This is of some interest. Beto has suspended his campaign for governor of Texas, which means he's taking a couple of days off because he's sick. He's got the sick. He's got a bacterial infection. He started to get sick on Friday. He gutted it out through the weekend, and now he is officially the Beto O'Rourke campaign here in Texas. And so we're taking a couple of days off. He's sick. He's really sick. Okay. U.S. Open is trending. U.S. Open is trending along with Serena Williams. Apparently, this could be the very last time we see Serena Williams in a cute little tennis dress out there on the U.S. Open. What are they, court? Clay? What is it? Clay? Grass? It's clay, right? U.S. Open is clay. She is stepping away from tennis, and this U.S. Open, which begins, is she playing tonight? I think she is playing tonight. This could be the last time ever to see possibly the greatest female tennis player in history, Serena Williams, at the U.S. Open. That's why that's trending. There is an aurora alert. Do you know what an aurora alert is? Well, we used to just call them sunspots, but it's when there's an explosion on the sun, and then it takes a couple of days to travel, and the sunspots then start screwing with our radio and our internet and all of that. So we're in one of those. We've got an aurora alert, whatever that means. Oh, boy. All right, guys. Hold on. I need to take a break for a second. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. We are back. Oh crap! Here she comes again. Yeah. So a little bit of a different day today. Got some action going on here at the property as we try and do this stream. So was a little bit pulled away there for a minute. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking we got to end this. But I'm thinking, can we maybe do something a little bit non-traditional and maybe come back in like an hour or something like that? Would that be all right? I got a whole show. I prepared an entire show here. I'm just having some issues with distractions. All right, I'll tell you the truth. The dog started to take a pee. She's like started doing her circle thing. She started to take a pee. So I had to take her quickly outside on the leash in the back over here so that and then of course she didn't want to go to the bathroom and now she's back in here. Anyway, I'm going to have to take the dog for a walk and I'm going to have to basically just kind of suspend the show here for a couple of minutes. I don't know how long, but I'm going to end this show. I do apologize. And then I'll come back on. I will come back on this afternoon. I'm sorry. I know I like to be consistent with the noon thing, but I can't continue being just. I can't. I hope you understand. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm gonna take a break, maybe about an hour or two. I'll let y'all know on Facebook and on YouTube or whatever Twitter when I sign back on, and we'll do this show today. I just we're having difficult doing it now. I apologize. Okay, so on that note, love you guys. We'll be back. We'll be back in a little bit. Please just keep looking for it. Please don't abandon us. Okay, bye guys.